Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Rancher and Stilettos presents Cocktails and Conversations. I'm Marsha Williams Cromer, and today I have a really amazing two guests joining me. These guys, these wonderful, beautiful women, are my first cousins. I have joining me Muriel Grace and Julie Grace. So they're here to spill the tea on a lot about who I really am because they know where all the bodies are buried. So just so happy that you guys are here to tune in and hear this conversation. Thank you so much for joining. First of all, toast to the Rancher and Stilettos and this absolutely amazing journey that I've been on for the last 4 years now. Muriel, talk to me, cousin. Talk to me. Tell everybody a little bit about us just growing up together in Southeast Texas. What was that like?
Okay. First of all, I want to say I love you.
I
thank you for inviting me to be a part of the podcast and the success of your book, Rancher Stilettos.
Thank you.
And just to share a little bit about us, Marsha and Julie and Cecilia and I, we all grew up together, and we are first cousins because her mom and my dad are brothers and sisters. So actually, we were more like sisters growing up.
So true. So true.
Oh my God. We spent nights together.
I know, and then weekends, and then the summers with our grandmother in East Texas, and as I call it, Cedar Grove and Sand. You know, that was our playground. And Cedar Grove is a town that's right outside of, actually it's part of Newton, Texas. It's like a little community outside of Newton, Texas.
Yeah. So we had so much fun, as Marsha said. I mean, we spent days together. We spent summers together. We spent lots of time out on the ranch, you know, just having fun and just walking down. The road was called Ball Road, y'all. Okay. So we spent a lot of time walking down Ball Road and doing a lot of girl talk. So it was a whole lot of fun. We would go into town, and during that time, there were like little country stores, and you know, which was really unique for Julie and I because we grew up in Houston, and so it was a treat to go down to Huntsville and go into downtown Huntsville and see how the country stores were. And we would go shopping. We would go to the Sonics. We spent time with Marsha and Cecilia's friends. We would go out to parties. We were of age. We even went out to some nightclubs back then.
Right.
Yeah,
The Jolly Fox.
Yeah, the Jolly Fox nightclub in Huntsville. Yeah. So we just had so much fun down there, and our Aunt Bern and our Uncle Cecil. We had parties down there on the ranch, y'all. I mean, and it was so beautiful because the land was so picturesque, and we would just have tables of food and just lots of people out there on the property, and we danced and we played games and we told jokes, and we just, the family, we were just in love. So we just all loved one another. So it was a great experience for my life growing up.
I have a question. So as you're reading the book, when they have parties at the ranch, did that resonate with you? It's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like something that, you know, a Zayd character would do, because I was actually there and saw it happen. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Julie, what about you? Your recollections of us all growing up together?
Well, out of the 4 little girls, I was the baby.
Yeah, that's right.
So I often had to scratch my way through to get attention. I was at the bottom of the barrel. But I do recall many times when we would go down, being that it was a ranch, we had the opportunity to fish, to learn how to fish. And we were being taught how to fish, but somehow we managed to be turning cartwheels in the field instead of doing really learning how to fish. They had horses, there were horses, they got to ride horses as well. You know, I think it was just an opportunity to be away from the city and learn and develop a lifestyle, the culture and lifestyle. And I really appreciate it because had this family not been who our family is, we would not have had the opportunity. We've had the opportunity at our grandmother's house to milk cows.
Right.
We were in the field, digging up potatoes. We fed the cows. There were chickens. There was so much that we did. on the farms and on the ranches.
Mhm.
And our aunt and Uncle Cecil and Byrne, they were just so kind and so loving, and they were so patient with us because they were educators.
Yep.
So they knew really how to work with kids and how to deal with kids. So when we came down, we were small. So they really loved us. Our family loved us.
I know, that's so true.
Our
That's
family
true.
loved us. And as far as Miss Zaid was a dreamer.
Wait.
Toast. Miss Zaid was
I
a
know that's
dreamer.
right.
Okay.
Well,
So, in reading the book and her collection, they were really electrifying,
mhm.
and they kept her readings kept your attention.
Okay.
So I loved them. I love Zaid,
Mhm.
and I love who Zaid became, and I'm thankful that Zaid was a part of our life. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
Zaid was really a part
Zaid
of
is
our
a
life.
character in the book. Okay, just a reminder, but loosely based on moi.
Moi.
Absolutely.
So it's been wonderful, and I have enjoyed. I'm on the third book,
Mhm.
but I have enjoyed the readings, and they have been electrifying. They're awesome. They're amazing, and I encourage anybody to pick up the book and start reading, because once you pick that book up, it's hard for you to put it down.
I know that's right.
And dear sister, let me interject. Let me tell one of the real stories about Zaid. Okay.
Oh my God.
This is who she really is. Okay? We were at our grandmother's in Cedar Grove, okay? And we also had a great grandmother who lived in a beautiful white house high on a hill.
Yep.
And there was this beautiful flowing creek, you all. It is just so surreal. And we were there at our grandmother's, and we decided to go to our great grandmother's house. So Zaid decided
That would be Marcia. That would be Marcia.
Zaid decided, being the ringleader, that we were going to go down to Grandma Court's creek. And she decided that we were going to get in the creek and play in the water. And, y'all, that ain't about nothing. We're not going to get in trouble or nothing like that. All four of us, Marcia, Julie, myself, and Cecilia, got in that creek. We were not supposed to be in there. Got our hair all wet, sand and everything. Went back to our grandma's house. Because she was so nice, she did not tear our tails up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And so Marcia was totally responsible for us getting in trouble.
Okay. Now you know what? I don't really remember that being a story verbatim. I know we all got punished because we were all there, but I don't remember. Was I the one who
Yes, you were the one who initiated that, yes. And you weren't even the oldest.
Oh, well, hello.
But you were the one that initiated this. But what I would like to share with everyone about the book is that the one word that I would use to describe the book would be triumphant. And yes, it really is triumphant, dear. And the reason why I share that with you all today is because this Zaid lady grew up.
Marcia.
This Zaid lady grew up in a small country town, lived a simple country life as a young girl, and she had the audacity and the tenacity to dream, to see what was on the other side. So I think that's just totally awesome, to have the strength and to take risks. And we may dream, but it's not always easy to take a risk, because we all have those fears of what if it doesn't work and what if it does. But she was not really concerned, because people that dream, they're not really concerned about whether it's going to work or not. They just get out and do it. And I'm so proud that you had the courage to go out and do what so many of us would have liked to do. Not saying that everybody's life didn't go well, but dreaming, that's very important, and that's a big you take on a big responsibility, because sometimes you give everything up because you feel like this is what your calling was, and even if it wasn't your calling, this is what you wanted to do.
Well, and also, I've been writing all my life. However, in terms of actually writing the novel, I started during COVID, right? So I guess my point is, if anything, maybe I could inspire others, but it's never too late. You know, it's never too late to revisit those dreams and look at them as, you learn more the older you get. You'll make less mistakes now. Is it still scary? Absolutely. And my book is my baby. So to put my baby out there and have to get feedback and it's not everybody's cup of tea. I had to grow some tough skin. So if someone's got negative comments or whatever, and I sat there at book signings where people would have issues with certain characters. These are characters that I invented, really. The dreamers are real. Zaid is basically loosely based on me, but I had the freedom to create a story. I used us as a platform for moving the story forward. But the freedom I felt was in just making these women anything that I wanted them to be and making those relationships between the guys, whatever I wanted to be. Speaking of the guys in the book, the male characters, I would say the main ones, Lane, Corey, and then Nash. Nash is actually based on someone that we all know and love. Yes, Timothy Mass, if you're listening, that is you. And he knows he's Nash. But, Tim was that guy friend that all of us grew up with. And, silly, super silly, but a heart of gold, would do anything for anybody. And again, we grew up with him. So you guys know that as a character, for someone to have a person in the book that's really an anchor, and he is Zaid's anchor in the book. How did you guys feel about the male characters? Is there one that you particularly liked, or is there one that you really, really want to see her with? Was it the Corey character, the Lane character? Which one?
Well, I think all of the guys had their own, special places in your life. But you know what? Okay, everybody, y'all got to read the book. But the person that you ended up with at the end, and it was just totally hilarious. Y'all have to read the book because the end is totally hilarious. Now, let me tell y'all about the book. It's like a roller coaster, and we've all been on roller coasters, right?
Yep.
It has its high points, it has its low points, it has its in-between points, it has its emotional points. There are these friendships that have been cultivated over the years. But back to the guys, I mean, all of them have their special ways and they were all important and they all played a role in your life. But in the end, y'all got to read it, y'all gonna fall out. The one that she ends up spending the rest of her life with is just amazing. But I think they were all, the guys were super characters. And the other characters, the females, your friends.
Oh, the dreamers are everything. I think just the decisions that Zaid has to make, and she would always go to them. But also, they were in business together. And what I will say, and perhaps as a reader, you guys would recognize, the first book, Zaid was just kind of, I was actually introducing the characters, right? By the second book, we're starting to get into background and nuances of, people bumping heads or whatever. So the first book, totally different than the second book. And the third book is different also than the second book. And I will say, as I look back over them and the trajectory of the story, I was writing from a place of where I was, myself. And by the third book, I was over everybody. I was, and so was Zaid. Zaid was vicariously over everybody as well. I guess I would want to know also from you guys, just me being your cousin, I didn't say anything. You didn't know that the book was coming out until the book came out. I posted it maybe a few months before I published. And then you guys were aware and excited and I got your feedback. But how did you really feel to know that I was writing like a whole book?
Zaid. Hey, sissy, Zaid.
Was
I
not,
already knew you were going to
hey,
This is Zaid. Let me go
Okay.
ahead. Let me go ahead and prophesy. Okay. Marsha, Zaid. Okay, we get it. Marsha. this is not going to be your last book. I'm prophesying over you right now.
Okay.
This is not going to be your last book. But I knew you were gonna to write a book, and the reason why I say that because actually, we come from a family of writers.
Right.
Marcia is a major writer. Okay, our aunt Dolores Grace
Right.
Bennett,
Right.
she was a writer, a reader, a creator, and I myself. Muriel Grace, I'm a reader and I'm a writer. So, I mean, our family comes from that. But Marcia has always been creative and she has always been a writer. So it was not, I was just probably waiting. But like when you said you had the book, it was
Yep.
not a shock because I know you personally.
Right. Well, did you guys catch the references to people in our family? Zayd's last name is Grace.
Yes.
Okay. And who was the other character that I'm thinking about? Dolores. You just mentioned Dolores. So Dolores is one of the dreamers.
Yes.
So as I was choosing names, I was intentional about paying homage to some of those family names that run through our family now.
Well, I mean, I think overall, when you really look at it in retrospect, Zayd have moved around a lot. And you couldn't expect anything else from Zayd but to prosper,
Right.
and to develop and to blossom. So I always knew that somewhere down the line, my cousin, Zayd, Marcia, will be successful in whatever she does because she moved and there was no leaving the country as a little country girl. Came on out of the country,
Right.
put her stilettos on and moved on.
That part.
Okay. So and she wasn't afraid. She wasn't afraid to try. She wasn't afraid to step out there on faith. And one thing, the foundation to our family has been the word of God.
Yeah.
We've always prayed. We've always loved one another. We've always encouraged one another.
Yeah.
And I think also, she always got positive feedback from our family.
Well, I was just about to say, me stepping out on faith was like maybe 50%. The other 50 was the family that I knew had my back. What's the worst that could happen? You got to come back home. I mean, how bad is that? Everybody loves each other and really are proud if you take a chance every now and then and see if things will work out. So yeah, I had that support and I've always felt that I had that support.
And also I would like to share this that you all don't know about Zayd, Marcia. Marcia, Zayd, this girl has been an entrepreneur since we were little. Okay, entrepreneur.
Serial entrepreneur.
This girl has had several businesses. And the one I love, this girl owned a modeling agency. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm a model.
That's right.
This girl developed these wonderful cookies. Oh my gosh, that I don't need. I didn't need.
But they were delicious.
They were delicious. So she has been an entrepreneur since we were little. So the expectations that I had of you were very high within our family.
The fact that you guys, sometimes people will say, run, Marcia, run, we got your back, we're there to support you. You guys didn't just say that in word, you guys have stepped up. You were one of the first people to reach out to me after the first book to tell me you read it and you loved it. And sometimes people can, be a little shady, and I'm just like, whatever, I put it out in the universe, I'll see what comes back. Julie, we're in the middle of her son's birthday party, and she basically turns it into a book signing event, which meant the world, just to have another opportunity and platform to share the story and to have all your friends now know and be ranchers and buy all the books and support me, and they continue to do so today. You know what? I absolutely love you guys. I cannot imagine my life without you. Julie, you mentioned that we're more like sisters than just cousins, but we grew up doing basically, you know how they kind of put us together, you know, so we were around the same age, it just made sense. So literally, we're just kind of extensions of each other's families. We are hanging out with our Aunt Laurel, you know, who would basically take us in during the summers and gave us a chance to have a couple of weeks to just, and you know what, to spend time together. But when I think back on it, and this was something that I reflected on shortly after her passing, Laurel took her vacation time and let us come to her house. I mean, that wasn't like PTO, you know, back in the day. That was vacation. You had 2 weeks, whatever, and you used that time. She chose to use that time to spend with us. 4 little girls that just absolutely loved her and took over her house for 2 weeks. And to have that kind of love and support, how could we not still be hanging in there? How could we not still be supporting and loving each other, recognizing how absolutely blessed we are?
And what I just like to share about Marcia is that Marcia is so touching because I kind of get chills when I do it. Marcia is there for all of our family members. When my aunt was ill, she doesn't live here. She lives like some hours away. And she drives to Houston to take care of everyone. You know, Laurel was so ill and Marcia was always there, you know, helping us. Julie and I are here, but Marcia came down and she came through. I mean, she is authentic. She is the real deal. Our Aunt Dolores was very ill. Marcia came down and came through. My mom was ill. My dad was ill. Brock, our cousin, was ill. Marcia, she comes down. Not only does she spend her time, and she's very busy, time, finances, everything. You know what I'm saying? She drops whatever she's doing, and she's always coming to the rescue of her family. And I just think that, I mean, you cannot get more phenomenal than that because there are family members that's right in the city that won't even come.
Right.
And this young woman comes from way out of town to meet the needs of her family members. Anytime someone's graduating, anytime there's an epic event, you know, I just have to go ahead and say, I just had a beautiful little grandbaby. And her name is 8 pounds, 1 ounces. Marcia was here for my grandbaby and my daughter, you know, and my daughter's fiance. She was here for Summer, held her, loved her, supported her, blessed my daughter.
I love the kids. I love the kids. In fact, I stole Julie's son. You know, Julian is also my heart. You know, but I have kids. You guys have shared your kids with me, and I feel like even just letting the kids see that you can't be no scrub in this family. You know, you gotta try harder. You gotta go harder. You got too many resources and mentors. It makes no sense for you not to succeed, right?
Not no sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Not to say so. You know, Maya Angelou, who is one of my favorites, she talked about phenomenal woman. This is the epitome of a phenomenal woman because it's not many people. No, seriously, because you know I don't say stuff if I don't mean it.
Oh, just that part I do know.
I don't like people like that. Okay? I love people, but I don't like people like that. So my Angelou talks about the phenomenal woman, and you are, you know, the epic phenomenal woman that I've seen over the years of my life. And so that's who you are. Well, and just stay the way you are because you have brought so much joy and so much calmness to our family, but not just to our family. You help all your friends. You support all your friends. So it's not just family. you help everyone that you are intertwined with, and you have been intertwined with people for the same people for several years. So, and it's not all the time that people can have those long lasting
Right.
friendships like you have with the dreamers. So
Right.
I think that's phenomenal too.
Well, given who Zayd is, it's obvious that when you look at her roadmap and her journey, it's obvious that the ranch and stilettos would definitely be moving all around, up and down, everywhere and here and there. And you know what? And when it's over with, you still smile.
Yeah.
You still smile. You had different relationships with all the different characters.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And each character brought something different to their relationship with you. And I know to this day that every last one of those characters that have been identified, they love you. And you know what? And whatever you all have, you take it and you run with it, and you don't even look back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I want the book, and it is, I feel, on some level, really a story of female empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody goes through challenges. We've been through challenges. You know, having sick family members that, you know, as Muriel was talking about, it's difficult. And you know, I kind of, you know, my way of dealing is to find work, a job, give me an assignment, you know, because to just, you know, kind of not know what's going on, it bothers me more than if I'm like right in the middle of it and I can help figure things out. And I think overall, one of the traits that Zayd has, and I think I have, is problem solving. You know, I actually, you know, you got a problem. Okay, let me think through it. It's something that I feel is one of my strengths, and I definitely feel it's a strength of Zayd's as well. Okay, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
All right, ladies. Well, listen, I am absolutely honored that you guys would come and share the show with me this week. I mean, and I know you're busy as well, but you pulled over. Mad love for you both. I cannot thank you enough, and look forward to sharing more news to come. More news to come. Cheers out. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you, everyone, once again for watching our show, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.